Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a circuit that demands absolute precision, bravery, and just a little bit of luck. Tonight I'm your host, Sagar Bakshi. It's green, green, green here at the Miami Autodromo Internazionale. Side by side, there goes Sean Stam, the Stam Man, and the 000 as well. Papa Green made up 3 positions in 2 laps. With Leslie Simpkins now throws his elbows out at Druid. Good evening, and welcome to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, where tonight the Degenerate Race League arrives at one of the most historic venues in all of motorsports. For round 3 of this championship, we're headed to a circuit that's built on precision, discipline, strategy. Confidence under braking is going to be mandatory as the Indianapolis Grand Prix layout combines the history of the Brickyard with a technical infield section that punishes mistakes and rewards drivers. At a place like this, clean exits, stable braking, and strong racecraft are going to matter all night long. Tyler Finley comes leading into the championship on 150 points, but Andrew Jackson is only 15 back. Doug Sorrentino sits 25 off the lead, but from 4th through 6th, the margin is just 5 points. This thing is far from settled, and that means every position tonight could matter. The stage is historic, the championship is tightening, and round 3 could be a major turning point. This is the Degenerate Race League at the Indianapolis Grand Prix, and it's time to go racing. Taking a look at the points quickly. It's Finley, Jackson, Sorrentino, the 1, 2, 3. Then Burt Macklin lingering in 4th. Corey Pastro in 5th. Michael Tross, Serpak, Cook, Narati, Quinn, Grant, Stanford, Dunn, Warwas, Brown, Twiddell, Cruz, Zborg after missing a round. Hansen, Galvin, Choate, Vastrala, Bozak, Seyfarth, Powell, McAnally, Huber, Black. This rounds out the 28. We have Kelly, Zawiska, Singh, Hayes, Fox, Edwards, Morgan, and Hoskins rounding out the grid so far. Speaking of grid, I think it's time that we look at what ours is about to look like, folks. Ryan Barkins in P1 alongside Andy Jackson, Alex Hansen alongside Zach Armstrong. Tyler Finley and Morgan Dino on the 3rd row. Following that on the 4th will be Sam Bozak and Corey Pastro. Gav Cook and Juan Cruz lining the 5th row. On the 6th, there'll be Ross Twiddell and Jake Almad. On the 7th, Jeremy Spencer Dunn and Michael Trost. Looking back, it'll be 8th place, or the 8th row for Austin Quinn and Casey Grant. 9th row for Christopher Black and Daniel Serpak. 10th row for Dave Seyfarth and James Kelly. Then we have Mike Code Brown and Kurt Hubert. Rounding things out is going to be Tyler Microphone Morgan and P23 to round out this grid. Looks like it's going to be a damp race out here tonight. Track conditions are cloudy, so we don't expect the rain to let up anytime soon. The moderately wet surface, going to be a challenge for those drivers caught in the rooster tail. Sitting behind the pace car doesn't look too bad though, but up at the front, Ryan Barkins and Andy Jackson side by side in matching liveries. Oh, here comes the rain just as I say that. So the drivers are going to have to deal with the changing conditions. Throughout this race, as the track goes from moderately wet to promptly wet. and get ready to go racing here at one of the greatest road courses in all of history, the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. It's green, 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 and Ryan Barkins takes off like a rocket ship on this race start. He leaves everybody sleeping at the wheel, including me, wondering where the grid is gone. It's gone back here nearly 3 wide, but we're going to make it through fairly cleanly on the good of things. Drivers perhaps exercising a little bit of extra discretion on the race start as they all settle in to get into grips with the lack thereof. Battle back here between Quinn and Almond. Looking back, it'll be Jeremy Dunn, who's lost one on the race start. There goes a late braking move and an avoidance. Late on the run is gonna be Quinn going down in towards turn 7. I think he just missed his brake marker and he's gonna be sat there for quite some time. Gav Cook makes it out cleanly throughout all the chaos and mayhem. Number 69, nice, doing fairly well on the good. Jeremy Spencer Dunn trying to get back into the mix of things tonight. The number 73 Porsche driver was being a little combative earlier on, trying to get alongside or near Michael Trost. Turk 10mm just subscribed for their 8th month in a row. Thank you very much there, Turk. Whoa, off goes Almond. The Krispy Kreme's donut perhaps getting a little bit too much glaze on the racetrack. Slipping and sliding all over the place there. Looking up ahead, it's Barkins leading Alex Hansen by a near country mile. A 1.5 second gap is going to be hard to close down on, but Hansen, if anybody, could do it here and now. But the best lap, last lap, trickling in is going to be going the way of Barkins on that first one, 140.24. We'll have to see what Alex Hansen can do in the head-to-head battles as it continues to brew on. Take a look further back. It'll be a late look there from Gav Cook Beans as he makes one done on Juan Cruz, who gets a touch there from Jake Amino. That would be Ross Twiddell, if I'm not mistaken, the number 54. Back here, we take a look at Dino, who's chasing down Tyler Finley and Zach Armstrong up the road. Dino, being the lonely Lamborghini in the field tonight, has a lot of work to do to make it up to the top 5. Speaking of top 5s, here comes Finley on Armstrong, and that'll be done and dusted, headed down in towards turn 7 by the looks of things. Great shot here of the action, and the BMW comes charging out of what looks like turn 14 and down across the start-finish straight. For Finley, it'll be a 136.077, trying to hold back the attacking cars that are behind him for now. Dino in that Ferrari trying to do that good job in the Degenerate Race League machine. Can he pull it out? Nyrads32 in the chat. What's up, Mitch? Good to see you, sir. Whoa, Dino goes off as he breaks late going in towards turn 7, and that seems to be a hot spot for most of the field now. Looking up ahead, here's Armstrong now. Is that already lap traffic? Yes, it is. Trost and Quinn. So Trost and Quinn both already taking pit stops, and if you're wondering who was on wet tires, I'll tell you it's the entire field right now, so leave that to be no question. Juan Cruz in the 444 has James Kelly and Daniel Serpak up the road, but no doing here coming down in towards turn 1. It's too far back to make anything happen on this run. Take a look back here at Dino, who's going to get by Zach Armstrong, who makes a solo mistake all by his lonesome, and he doesn't need to be helped on that occasion. Taking a look at Sam Bozak and Corey Pastro and their little duet here. On board with Pastro now as we take a look at the spray that we're going to catch from Bozak up the road. The number 5 giving a lot of wake there to Pastro. What a big tank slapper, late on the brakes for Pastro, and dip dive dodge out of the way there for Trost as everybody's able to get through safely. But the puddles now forming dramatically as the weather continues to beat down on the drivers tonight. And yes, indeed, the rain is still coming down, at least through the first sector. Here comes Serpak. He's in locking arms right now with a couple of drivers around him, James Cowley and Juan Cruz in front and behind him. There goes the sixth drift from the number 42, but he finds some grass. That's what all the kids are looking for these days, is to touch some grass. That's all they talk about. But the 42 finds that coveted grass to touch. The 17 and the 44, excuse me, the 444 will continue their bounce. Taking a look back, here comes a charge from Gav Cook Beans on the wounded 42 up ahead of James Kelly. Perhaps those tires are just a little overheated at this point as Kelly continues to lose ground and time. There comes Kelly side by side with Cook, and a little bit of a hip check there, and Cook backs out as Kelly in 14th position gets on the loud pedal and tries to get through. This is where he went off earlier and collected some of that grass and kitty litter. This time it's all for the good. Up ahead, finally, Juan Cruz gets the drive on Daniel Serpak. But will that lead to a little bit of confusion behind as Kelly and Serpak go toe-to-toe, coming through the S's of 7, 8, 9, and 10. It will go wrong for Kelly. Let's see if we can get a replay of what happened here. And we're going to go 3 wide, which was a little dangerous, but we made it through cleanly. And then the 42, I can't call that one. And we'll leave that one up to the stewards. Russ Riddell and Jake Allman side by side, the 54 and the number 11 battling for 9th and 10th position here. And goes a little wide, the Krispy Kreme donut, and pushes off the 54, and there goes off. I think that'll be Michael Trost yet again, getting past the rest of the field. Does so cleanly. Switchback for the 54. Twiddell pulls out a move on Allen there, and that will be a nice slick switchback. Hello, Rob Picton, Turk 10mm, and Nyrads in the YouTube chat. Thank you very much for being here, everybody. Really appreciate all your love and support. Here comes Finley now. Finley's got a run on Jackson. Jackson's trying to cool off his tires. No, that's Hansen, excuse me. Trying to cool off his tires, if I'm not mistaken. Finley has to defend the BMW behind, but crosses over the puddles into the braking zone. Could be a little bit dangerous, but he makes it through fair and square. Here comes Almond and the 54 of Twiddell side by side into the braking zone of turn 1. A little switchback for the 54, maybe again could get that one planted, but no, not on this occasion. We're only 14 minutes into this one, folks. We have a long way left to go before we get to the pit stops, and the drivers are fighting like their lives depend on it. Here comes the 54 into the braking zone on the number 11. Who's going to go later on the brakes? It will be equally matched, but it looks like the 11 of Almond loses out to Twiddell on the run of things. Checking in with the championship top 5 and where they currently sit. Finley is in the lead, sits in P4. Jackson is in P3. And 22 not here tonight. Dino's in P5 and Pastro's in P7. So all of them running nearly into the top 5 minus Pastro, who's in a bit of a pickle right now. '54 looks for some puddles to cool off their tires. Has the number 11 behind, looking for an optimum run into the braking zone. Has a straight line run around the outside. Gets a little loose there on exit. Gives a little love tap to the 54 for good measure. But a little hurry up and go. Never hurt anybody between friends. Let's take a look at Finley's debacle now. as they've got Andy Jackson right up the road. Just absolutely seeing nothing into the braking zone. You can see here Tyler Finley's been gaining around 0.2 per lap, matching on lap 9. Let's see if he can continue the pace here. And now where it matters most, the mid-run stint. Dino continues to pull out fast lap after fast lap. Time and time again, 1:35.09 that last time by. Held on to the previous fast lap on the previous run as well, so not too bad. Blind into the braking zone of turn 7 before we flick it back to turn 8, turn 9. And the Ferrari taking a very interesting line compared to what Finley's doing. Oh, and almost Finley nearly goes up into the wall. Now Dino is chasing. He has been pulling out fast lap after fast lap. It's about time things go his way. Running in P5. He goes 4th in the championship. Alex Hansen finds a fast lap, but there goes Dino yet again. 1:34.9 as the laps continue to get a little bit quicker. The Lamborghini stretches its legs. Pastro, Bozak into pit lane. Interesting calls. Perhaps they feel like it's time for dry tire. We'll keep you updated on that. Gav Beans Cook and Sam Bozak both involved in incidences earlier on. Let's see what happened to Sam Stop Bozak. You can decipher why they headed down pit road. So here comes the number 5. Is that a late on the brake charge? It is a late on the brake charge. Then into the charging 91. So that will be what happened to Pastro then, as well as Sam Bozak. But we do have quick repairs available for the drivers, so we'll have to see if they have enough fuel to make it to the end of the race. Looking back here at Dino. Behind Finley now, who we ride on board with. Coming through turn 1 at the IMS. It was very interesting. There was actually a documentary, or a YouTube documentary, whatever you call that one nowadays, about them excavating parts of the racetrack because they were getting elevation changes in the track, because the bricks that are still underneath the racetrack are still there and are rising. So they went in there and they excavated a ton of those bricks and put them in the IMS museum. It's just absolutely crazy stuff. I had been talking about race cars for 6 years now, and I had no idea that bricks actually existed underneath Indianapolis Motor Speedway. When they talk about the yard of bricks, there is, whoa, no! Is that Asterisk Jackson? Ho, ho, ho. It is Asterisk Jackson getting a little scrolly on rotation. He manages to keep it calm, cool, and collected. A couple of drivers throughout the field going a lap down as they take their pit stops. Doesn't look like anybody was bold or brave enough to take a set of dries. Everybody stays on a set of wet compound tires and comes back out. Corey Pastro and Sam Bozak both in the lane for around 10-11 seconds apiece. So they'll come back out in P18 and 19 respectively. Checking in here with Christopher Black, who's been chasing down James Kelly for what seems like the entire race, but Christopher Black's actually up 4 positions on the good currently. It's not too bad of a charge for him, but Kelly's up 8 and he could get the hard charger award on the evening tonight. Daniel Serpak didn't have a great qualifying. The number 17 Porsche driver up 7 positions on their own right as well. One of the few drivers in the field that hasn't moved up or down besides the leader has been Juan Cruz. That 444 has battled his way forwards and backwards, but really at the end of the day has been for nil as he finds an equilibrium of positions gained. Checking in with Finley and Dino here. There goes Dino on Finley. The inside line down the pit straight. And then we get to the braking zone of turn 1. Dino firmly plants it on the brakes. And he's able to get through on the slower BMW driver behind. Here comes Gav with a good run on Mike Code Brown. He might be able to get by. And here's another battle between Sam Bozak and Casey Grant. And Bozak is through and through on Grant, having the pressure rubber. Grant has not taken his pit stop yet, so that was an easy one through and through for the number 5. Ross Trudell in the 73 of Spencer Dunn still locked in arms right now. The two Porsches about to go to war with each other by the looks of it as they both try to challenge each other into the braking zone of turn 12. Now on the exit of 14, though, it'll be a side-by-side bout between the two Porsche brethrens. Jeremy Dunn on the disadvantage by the looks of it, or excuse me, the advantage over Ross Trudell. Number 54 gives it up a little bit easily there. Looking in the background, that's Michael Trost, I believe. Yes, that is Trost in the background. So Trost being a lap down does not get to unlap himself very easily. Krispy Kreme Donuts number 11 has Juan Cruz to contend with. Like I said earlier, Juan Cruz has been trying to challenge forward this entire race, but eventually has just settled into P10 at this point. He looks forward at getting P9 from Jake Allman now, the Ferrari under threat. And this is a beautiful train of cars right now. You can throw a blanket over the 5 of them, and there goes a couple of Hoffs. Looks like the Bucky's Mobile up ahead of Dunn loses ground, and so does Jake Allman in the same breath. Up ahead, Morgan Dino has been able to catch up to Andy Jackson for his chance at a podium spot now. Dino charges again behind Jackson. This time, Finley closes down the gap in the number 23. And he might have something to say about a podium bout now. .134 is trickling in for the drivers at the front right now. 135 for those holding on, 5th and beyond. Back battle here includes the likes of Jeremy Spencer Dunn, Juan Cruz, and Ross Trudell. Here comes the 444 trying to mount an attack after gaining 1 position. He's not too shy about gaining a few more if they're available. Whoa, late into the braking zone goes the 44, the 444, excuse me. That's because I think everybody was following Ross Trudell in the 54, so the 73 went a little deep. The 444 went a little deep, but all because Trudell in the 54 went in too deep, just like my favorite band, Sum 41. Dino into the pits. He'll be the first of the front runners to make that critical pit stop call. Can he hit his marks pitch perfect? Looks like no black flag penalties for Morgan just yet. Over to the 3 wide battle here between the Porsches, who all fan out coming down in towards 13. Trudell leads Spencer Dunn and then Jake Almond. Juan Cruz holding on as best as he possibly can. Whoa, 73 goes too deep at turn number 1. A tank slapper for Almond in the number 11. But who's going to come out on top? Will it finally be that 444 of Juan Cruz getting a position for free after somebody makes a mistake in front of him? Finally, 3 wide coming through the S's. The 44, excuse me, the 444 again comes through on top. Nobody wanted to give an inch because they knew it would be a mile at the end of the day.
And look at how far back Jeremy Spencer Dunn is. One entire second off of Juan Cruz for giving up that ground. Juan Cruz decides it's enough and comes down pit lane, but unfortunately so does Jeremy Spencer Dunn, as they both decide they've had enough of this first stint. They'll put in 19 laps as they cross the line in pit lane. Comes James Kelly also. Drivers shouldn't need to take tires. They should just take fuel and get back out. Here comes the leader, Ryan Evanhater Barkins, down the lane. It'll be the first stall for Ryan Barkins. As he's an Evan hater, I apologize. Alex Hansen, Zach Armstrong, and a few others come down pit road as well in the background. That'll be Ross Twiddell and Jake Almond, Daniel Serpak. And the flurry of cars coming out of pit lane now. Here comes Ryan Evanhater Barkins, actually behind Morgan Dino, and he's taking dry tires. Hold the phone, folks. A few drivers have decided to take dries. Couple of drivers decided to take dries, risk it for the biscuit, because why not? Let's keep an eye on the timing tower as the drivers change their tires up. Now Jackson and Finley are in pit lane. Will they decide to take tires or not? We'll also keep an eye on the head-to-head lap times, because we don't have a terrible amount of time for Barkins to catch back up. He's gonna have to be about 2 seconds a lap faster. We'll take a look at the head-to-head in a few moments once he gets a couple of laps in him, but by then it might be too late. Even Andy Jackson could potentially get the leapfrog. And he does. I think it was just a better in-lap for Andy Jackson. But now he might lose ground as Ryan Barkins has heated up his tires just a little bit. So the top four still on wets. Here comes Barkins now into the braking zone of turn 7. Both Both drivers go off simultaneously in synchronization. But Barkins does get ahead of Jackson. And we'll let the stewards deal with who's at fault for that one. Gav Cook with a black flag makes a trip down pit lane. Jake Almond makes a trip down pit road. Not seeing him involved in an incident. He did go off track. Let's see what happened here to Almond. And that's not too bad. Tyler Finley chasing down Morgan Dino. Again, those drivers on the wet compound. Finley has been in his pursuit of a podium, but has been gifted one as Barkins took a set of tires. Barkins puts down a 141.99 that last lap around. I'm not sure that's going to work out well for him at the end of the night. Dino taking to the wet line, trying to cool down his tires. It's very dry over to the wall. It'll be into the braking zone of turn one. A good defense by Morgan. A continued battle between Gav Cook and Dave Sefarth, who's up the road in the number 90. A couple of McLarens go after it. As that'll be Jake Almond actually getting caught up in the middle of this tussle now. And Krispy Kreme's mobile not having a good run. Jake is on the wet tires, while Gav Cook is on the wets. Excuse me, Gav is on the dry tires. Oh, and Gav Cook backs out of that battle for some reason. Switch over to, that'll be Armstrong making his way through. That's why everybody yielded. Oh no! Almond loses it. Let's see what happened to Almond here coming into the backside of turn 12. He just loops it all on his own. Corey Pastro getting by Barkins there, who seemingly made a mistake coming out of turn 13 and through 14. And Barkins again just not getting the run that he needed. A 145 that last time by, and he continues to drop like a stone through the order. Drivers on the wets still able to produce 136s despite the track drying up a significant amount. We're into the final 5 of this race. Andy Jackson has crashed. Let's see what happened to Jackson here. Yeah, it looks like he just goes straight off. What? Oh, a take slapper sends him into the wall. Holy smokes. Little too much curb is putting it lightly, yeah. That'll send Morgantino further up the grid now. And it seems to be a race of mistakes tonight, as drivers have combated with the Indianapolis Motor Speedway more than they have with each other. It's been a pretty quiet race, but a very exciting one nonetheless. Full of changes in the grid, in the order, in the standings as well. Taking a look at the top 5 yet again to see how they fare. Finley's in P3, Jackson's in P20, Dino's in P2, and Pastro's back in P5. Finley losing ground a little bit. Here's Ryan Barkins trying to put up any sort of fight that he can with Corey Pastro up ahead. Barkins isn't doing too bad right now. Go on board and see how he's faring with that steering wheel as he finds the dry line. He can't go onto the wet stuff. He tries as he might to go to the inside line alongside Pastro. He's going to get there on the exit. Lap times coming in. Pastro about a second slower than Barkins on that previous lap. Will he go for a move into the braking zone where he has better traction? 72 able to get the advantage there and hold on to P5. Barney's not waving our white flag yet, just had to check in there as we chase the number 72 around the racetrack. Jake Almond here getting by Dave Seyfarth. The number 90 is or was under attack, and now that battle is concluded as the Krispy Kreme donut machine is through and through. White flag in the air from Barney the Flagman, and now it's Alex Hansen in the lead of this race. And with 30 seconds left to go on the clock, Alex Hansen's going to be feeling like he's on top of the world as Barkins pulls out the fastest lap of the race, a 1:33.3, but I think it's a little too late at this point in time. The DRL badge machine of Alex Hansen, that Porsche looking good as ever on the racetrack, has been a heck of a drive for that 390. Alex Hansen brings it around for the checkered flag to accept from Barney the Flagman. He'll take the win. In P2 will be Morgan Dino, and then Finley crosses the line in P3. Crossing the line in fourth will be Zach Armstrong, then Barnes, Pastro, Cruz. And Barnes pulls out another fast lap as he crosses the line. Phenomenal stuff. Taking a look at the results here. It'll be Alex Hansen taking the win with the 7 laps led. Morgan Dino in P2, Tyler Finley in third. Hard charger going Kurt Huber. Most laps led going to Barkins at the end of the day, and that fast lap going his way as well. Zach Armstrong in fourth, Barkins in fifth, Pastro in sixth, Juan Cruz in seventh, Bozak in eighth, Ross Trudell in ninth, Jeremy Spencer Dunn in 10th, then Sir Pack in 11th, Kurt Huber in 12th, Jackson in 13th, Trost in 14th, and Code Brown in 15th, Grant, Black, Cook, Almond, Sigfarth, rounding out the top 20. Then we have James Kelly, Tyler Microphone Morgan, and Austin Quinn rounding out this grid. Let's see if we can talk to any one of the drivers here today. I want to come down to the interview booth. Rob Picton asked if there's any way we can talk to one of the fellers who struggled when they went to dry tires. Well, absolutely. If they choose to come down to the green room, I'd love to talk to them. Waiting for our drivers to come down to be interviewed, but for now, we reflect on a great rain race, folks. That sure was exciting. A lot of things happened throughout this race. Alex Hansen gaining 2 positions on the good of things this evening, but it all came down to Barkins at the end of the night, taking those dry tires and a longer pit stop, and he had to make up that ground on the racetrack. At the end of the day, there wasn't enough time left on the clock as he was able to find ground on the final lap. See none coming down for their interviews, folks. So that's going to wrap it up here from the broadcast booth. Want to give a big shout out and thanks to everybody watching live. Oh, wait, hold on. Alex Hansen saying that there's no green room. Let's go to the hangout, Alex. Hold on. Let's see if I can do this. Get me in there. Get me in there, he says. I think I can do that. No, I can't drag people. Just meet me in the hangout. Meet me in the hangout. Yeah, Barkins. Come talk to it. Come talk to me in the hangout room if you don't mind. We're gonna do interviews in the hangout room. So come up here so we can talk to you. Alex Hansen, though, the driver who ended up coming home with the win, made the right strategy call at the end of the day. The number 390 not only looked good on track, but was fast as ever. How are you doing, Alex? And how are you feeling after the moist race here at IMS?
Hello, sir. Oh, finally a wet race for DRL. I love wet races. And yeah, the way I try harded, it was just unbelievable. I'm all wet.
Yeah, man, I can only imagine. Just not only covered in sweat, but the way the racetrack was treating you guys was quite grueling. It looked like it was going to be dry, then it looked like then it was raining in some parts of the track, and then it dried up at the end. Were you in fear that guys on dry tires were going to catch up to you?
Not really. I have tried dry tires at practice and it didn't work at all. But I had a fear that my tires would just blow out because it was really, really hot. But handled well, thankfully.
Yeah, no, absolutely, man. Now, talk to us about your strategy. You said you went into practice. It sounds like you did quite a few laps to come to grips. What does it take to come out on P1?
Basically, I thought like we have just 12 minutes left. Even if I switch to dries, I was actually thinking of switching to new wets on my left side. But then I was like, I would have a lap or two to get them to work. I would lose maybe like 10 seconds, and it's not just worth it. So I just stayed on my old tires, and it was super hot. Even the wet parts of the track didn't help to cool them down, but still, just sliding to the finish.
Well, great job, Alex Hansen, with those two positions gained on the evening. It leads you to be in P1 at the end of the night. Is there anybody you'd like to shout out or anybody you'd like to thank on the victory today?
Uh, Let me just shout out to Major 24-hour boys, Andrew, Mitch, and Gav. We tried hard. We were the fastest car the whole race, but unfortunately, it's racing. Had a few incidents.
Right on. Thank you so much, Alex, for supporting the Degenerate Race League. And thank you very much for being here in the broadcast booth with me. Have a great night. And as always, stay safe, brother.
Thank you. You as well. Bye bye.
Next up, we have none other than Ryan Evan Hater Barkins, who was the people's choice tonight. The number 72 seems to make the wrong strategy call in the pit lane, and it cost him the race. Talk to us about your race, Ryan, and the extremely difficult decision that you had to make.
I blame it on Corey. Corey told me not to do it, but he didn't try hard enough to get me not to do it. So I'm blaming it on Corey. No, it was just a bonehead move. I just got a little too greedy with it, and it was the wrong choice. So here we are.
Well, you definitely had a good lead. What does it take to drive in these very tricky conditions? I don't feel like at no point in time was the track condition stagnant. It was always evolving. So, what does it take around a racetrack like this where it's difficult to practice for a situation like this?
Yeah, it's super tough, right? Because at the beginning, the wets have grip, but then as the track dries out, the wets lose grip. So at like you're constantly fighting for grip the whole time in conditions like this. So really you just got to manage like how the track is changing and constantly changing braking markers, turn in points, and figuring out what's dry and what's not. Because it's basically every lap, it was basically a brand new track. So it's really just finding a way to adapt, which Alex kept me on my toes the whole time. So he was right there whenever that, mistake was made,
Mm-hmm.
and he capitalized on it. And he came out on top. So he made the right choice. I didn't, and it ended up biting me. Um, so, but yeah, like I said, it's just having to adapt, and Alex did a great job of that and reading that the track wasn't fully dry yet. Because at the end it was very misleading. I
Yeah.
was looking at the spray in my mirrors, and some of the spray was gone, which usually tells me like, oh, I can get on dries. Which obviously tricked me into doing that. But I just read it well until the pit stop, and then it just fell apart.
Yeah. It was a great race for you, Barkins, until it just wasn't, unfortunately, at the end of the day, right? But
That's racing, dude.
anything can and will happen in motorsports, and it typically does, right? But here at IMS, you've definitely left your mark with the fastest lap of the race on those dries. That was pretty impressive, getting it done at the last lap. So, had there been an additional, 5 laps or so, you made the right call, right?
Yeah.
You know,
Unfortunately, it's just too early.
yeah. So, in evolving conditions, it's tricky. So I wouldn't beat yourself up about it, but it sounds like you're taking it on the chin anyways. And yeah, hats off to you. And again, thank you very much for supporting the Degenerate Racing League. And thank you very much to all your support here in the broadcast booth. Really appreciate it. Is there anybody you'd like to shout out or anybody you'd like to thank tonight?
Yeah, I mean, just the DRL team for putting on these races. Obviously, the support from my family as well, and just a congrats to Alex as well on making the right call and being able to read the track. And that's ultimately what came out on top tonight, was being able to be quick, and constantly changing conditions, but also making the right call when it matters. And he made all the right decisions tonight. So congrats to him on the win, and I'll be back.
Sounds good, Ryan. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Really appreciate it. Have a great night. And as always, stay safe out there.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
And I see no more for the interview room. So I think with that will wrap things up for us, folks. It's been an absolute pleasure again to take you from green to checkered flag on behalf of the Degenerate Race League. I want to thank everybody in the chat, whether you watched live now or in the future. Thank you very much to those most recent follows as well, from Flo Stoll and Captain Chaos, I believe. No, excuse me. Yep, Captain Chaos, and yes, Sir 17. I believe that'll be Daniel Serpak, I believe. Thank you very much for your guys' support. Thank you guys very much for your guys' love. On behalf of the Degeneration League, I've been Sagar Bakshi, taking you from green to checkered flag throughout this great wet race at the International Raceway of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Have a great night, and most importantly, as always, make sure you stay safe out there. Bye-bye for now.
Bye.